In a 2021 interview with Korean radio, then 17-year-old pianist Yunchan Lim was asked if he ever felt like taking a break when performing all 12 of Liszt's Transcendental Etudes. Here's what Yunchan said.
조절기교 연습곡에서 가장 어려운 구간이 마제파 4번에서 5번 도깨비불을 넘어가는 순간이기 때문에 정말 쉬고 싶은 구간이 있다면 그 구간을 얘기를 할 것 같습니다.
He added that personally, it suits him to just go straight into Follets after Mazeppa without a thought. And this made me wonder, just how long of a break did Yunchan take between these two etudes in his semi-final performance at the Van Cliburn competition? And how does his time stack up against two of the most famous pianists who have also performed the entire set live, Boris Berezovsky and Daniil Trifonov? In this video, I'm going to time how long it takes each pianist to complete this treacherous transition in order to determine the winner of the coveted SPBMAFF award, shortest pause between Mazeppa and Follets award. But a quick word before we start the contest. This video is a silly spin-off of a much longer, in-depth look at Yunchan Lim's Transcendental Etudes from this year's Van Cliburn competition. So many of you requested I review this remarkable performance in the comments to my video on his Rock 3 that I finally gave in to popular demand. It's been quite the ride putting it together, and I'll be posting it next weekend. And if next weekend has already happened, make sure you check out that video after you watch this one. In the meantime, be sure to tune in Tuesday, September 6th, right here on Tonebase Piano YouTube, for a live stream I'll be doing with Ohlsson from his home Bosendorfer all about Brahms' solo piano music, which he recently performed in its entirety at Tanglewood. And if September 6th has already happened, well, you've got another video to watch. And if you like what we do, consider joining the Tonebase Piano Premium platform. We've produced tons of insightful videos with dozens of great artists, and there's some exciting new releases coming this fall, including an extended series we recently produced with French pianist Jean-Yves Thibaudet on Debussy's Preludes. So there's never been a better time to sign up for Tonebase Piano. And if you end up enjoying this video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and click that little bell so you can get notifications each time we upload a new video. And now, back to the show. And welcome back to the 2022 SPBMAFF contest, the shortest pause between Mazeppa and Follets contest, brought to you by Tonebase. Before we begin, let's go over the ground rules. SPBMAFF contestants must be performing the entirety of Liszt's 12 Transcendental Etudes live in concert without intermission. Both 1852 and 1838 versions are accepted. The clock will start from the instant the pianist releases their finger from the final chord of the fourth etude, Mazeppa, and not at the release of the pedal. And this seems only fair since a pianist's break truly begins when they're no longer engaged with the keyboard, even if their foot continues to depress the pedal. Number 3, the clock will stop at the instant the pianist strikes the first note of the fifth etude, Follets, and the pianist with the shortest pause between etudes will receive the SPBMAFF First Prize Award. Second and third prizes will be awarded to the remaining pianists according to their pause times. Now, without further ado, let's meet our first contestant, gold medalist of the 1990 Tchaikovsky competition, Russian pianist Boris Berezovsky! Berezovsky has performed the Transcendental Etudes live on numerous occasions, but the one we will be looking at is from the 2002 Roque d'Anteron Festival in France. And what artful cinematography they have there. As the camera spins above the keyboard, you can hear Mazeppa slowly coming back to life here. And Berezovsky has now entered the final vivace chordal flourish. He is making his way down the keyboard, and we are just moments away from the final note of Mazeppa. The audience has just begun to applaud mid-performance here. This turn of events could really cost Berezovsky as he is handed a bath towel to mop up some of the flooding on his face. He turns back to the keyboard, and so Berezovsky clocks in at a respectable 18.57 seconds, and you really have to wonder what could have been should the audience have observed proper etiquette and kept their hands in their laps. You see here on the replay, while his towel boy was quick in his delivery time, you see here just how much perspiration was really raining down from Berezovsky's giant head. And now, let's meet our second contestant, gold medalist of the 2022 Van Cliburn competition, hailing from Korea, 18-year-old pianist Lim Yunchan! Incidentally, Yunchan was first introduced to the Liszt Transcendental Etudes on YouTube in the 4th grade when he watched that very Berezovsky performance you just witnessed. Here we'll be seeing Yunchan in his highly acclaimed performance of the Transcendentals from the semifinals of the 2022 Van Cliburn competition in Fort Worth, Texas. And Yunchan is surging down the keyboard here. And one final crescendo here from Yunchan. And he has struck the final note. Wait for the release. And he's off. Notice very careful to observe Liszt's fermata. Yunchan reaching for his handkerchief and wiping the sweat from his brow. And without any audience applause, it does look like Yunchan is going to be able to finish ahead of Berezovsky. And indeed, there it is. Yunchan Lim finishes with a remarkable time of 14.26 seconds. And with that, he takes over the top spot of the SPBMAFF 2022 leaderboard. And you can see again in the replay, Yunchan taking just a second to adjust his suit before returning his focus to the keyboard. And with a mischievous grin, he begins Follets more than 4 seconds before Berezovsky. And this will be hard to beat indeed. I am joined now by tonebase correspondent Anton Nell, who sat on the jury for the Cliburn screening round in March.
Wonderful to see you, Ben.
Anton, what did you make of Yunchan's pause between the 4th and 5th Transcendentals?
I mean, sitting in front of the instrument and finishing something like Mazeppa and then facing Follets and dispatching it like that as if it's nothing is absolutely extraordinary.
Thank you, Anton. And now, our third and final contestant, gold medalist of the 2011 Tchaikovsky competition, Russian pianist based in New York, Daniil Trifonov. We'll be watching his well-known 2014 performance of the Transcendentals from Lyon, which has surpassed 1.5 million views on YouTube since it was first posted 5 years ago. And here we have Trifonov, putting his neck and shoulders into every chord of the final bars, and the clock has begun. Now it looks as though he is staying in the zone here. Will he wipe his brow? He will not, and Daniil Trifonov leaps to the top of the leaderboard with an absolutely mind-blowing pause time of only 7.5 seconds between Mazeppa and Follets. Ladies and gentlemen, the first prize winner of the 2022 SPBMAFF contest goes to Daniil Trifonov, who cuts Yunchan Lim's time in half and beats Boris Berezovsky by a full 11 seconds. Watching here, side by side with Yunchan, we see Trifonov looking like Secretariat out there, a mile ahead of the runner-up, and it's quite clear that the decision to towel off hurt both Berezovsky and Yunchan's chances in this contest. And there they are, the final results of the SPBMAFF 2022 contest. Truly remarkable. Daniil Trifonov takes first prize. You also see the incredibly low world record time listed there. Believe it or not, that is no mistake. And to cap off this broadcast, let's revisit that legendary world record-breaking face-off between Russian-Israeli pianist Natasha Tadson and American pianist Adam Neiman. Neiman's recorded live performance was released to DVD by Aeolian Classics in 2017, and Tadson, in a live performance from Tel Aviv in 2000, was captured by an amateur videographer holding a camcorder in the audience. And both pianists making their way to their marks in the final bars of Mazeppa. And there they go. Now watch Tadson sets her hair, and Neiman, without any hair to worry about, in a photo finish, and it's Tadson by 2/100th of a second over Neiman. What a thrilling contest. And there you have it, folks. The SPBMAFF world record time belongs to Natasha Tadson. But if you could give it to them both, Tadson and Neiman, you would. What lightning fast transitions by both of them. Be sure to tune into our next event, the shortest pause between Chopin Opus 10-1 and 10-2 contest for tone-based piano. This is Ben Laude. Thank you for joining us.